Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel. And today we're going to be looking at something that is brand new, and that is a new Vanishing Ink book by John Galsworthy concerning the palming of cards. If you do not know John's work, he is not necessarily a magician per se, he is just fascinated and has a big passion for palming cards. So if you've seen his previous download, which was also focused on palms, or you've seen him at the Experts at the Card Table version 2 that Vanishing Ink did, he also had a segment there covering palming cards, but this is essentially his kind of holy grail summary of all of the palms and techniques and justifications that he's made regarding palming cards. So if you're someone that's interested in palming, wants to learn some new palms, or just wants to perfect their palm, then this book is kind of going to be like the mini Bible regarding the topic that you may need. So having said all of that, let's roll the intro and get straight into it. Perfect. So you decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about the palming of cards, the book by John Galsworthy. So what is the book? The book is essentially regarding the palming of cards. I will say this upright. There are no effects in this book. There are no tricks in this book. He does tell you, you can use all of these techniques for card to wallet, card to pocket, card to impossible location, etc., but he does not give any effects. He just tells you can use these for any of the effects that you may wish, and that is basically something that for some people may be a detriment, but for me it wasn't, because if you're interested in the palming of cards, this is the book for you. So as always, since there's no routines, I can't really perform anything for you. The only thing that I could perform for you is just as I talk to you and as we talk and as we discuss, boom, show you that I can palm a card, right? So that's pretty much it. So he's going to teach you, I'm going to unveil all the contents, but he's going to teach you also how to do side steals. He's going to teach you how to do bottom palms. He's going to teach you a bunch of stuff, which I'm going to tell you right now from the contents of the book. So this is the book. It is 147 pages. If you want, you can stop here on the table of contents to take a look at that. But it's a 147 page book. It's going to teach you top palms, which is going to include the Berg palm, the one-handed palm, the Hugar top palm, and the topping the deck palm. Then he's going to teach you bottom palms, which are the Erdenaise bottom palm, the Erdenaise bottom palm, with a variation touch 2 palm, the Leipzig bottle palm, and a color change palm. Then he's going to teach you steals, which is the side steal and the diagonal palm shift. And then he's going to teach you miscellaneous moves. So palm to palm transfer, box load, so to take a card from palm and load it to a box, and a top card replacement palm, and then a conclusion and a few concluding thoughts. So that is the content of the book that you will be getting. So now that you know that, where do you buy it? How much does it cost? And what do you get? So you can buy this directly from vanishingink.com. At the moment of this video, it is only available there. But as with most of their projects or most of their books, most likely, they will be available at other dealers eventually. But for now, it is only available through them. It will set you back $39.99 USD, which is around 55 Canadian dollars. And what you get with your purchase is this. This is a beautiful hardback, really feels premium, as with all Vanishing Ink books. It has a premium quality. It feels like it's an expensive book. It feels good. And you're getting this, 147 pages. It reads well. It has really good images. So if I were to show you here, the images and everything are very good. Everything that you need to know is you can understand it. It's just a very, very well written and put together book, which is what I think everyone is expecting from Vanishing Ink nowadays due to the quality of the books that they actually make. So the first thing we're going to talk about is difficulty. So the difficulty here depends on the prowess that you have with palms, because none of these palms are necessarily new. So you're not learning any new palms or revolutionary palms. They're palms that you already know. So if you know a bit about how they work, you can refine them with the works inside of this book. So if you're familiar with palming, it's really within your wheelhouse. If you've never palmed a card before, then there will be some difficulties here, but he does teach you, some very easy palms. Like he even teaches you one with a break where you just go over the deck and you palm the card. Some very simple, easier ones to master, but then also you're going to learn, harder ones like the diagonal palm shift and some other ones as well that will be a bit more knuckle busting for you to do and will require much more practice to do fluidly, okay? But to me, I think the most difficult part of the entire book, and it's the most important part because that's what he puts his axis and emphasis on, is the justifications. Because he says doing something like this, you have the deck on the table, you're talking, you pick it up, you do something like this, to then just put the deck back on the table, it seems weird, right? It just seems weird to do that. But he says you need a justification. So he gives you some. He gives you, a simple one, which is always if you have this here, you would do something, like move the deck. You would have to place this here, and then that would give you a reason to move the deck to the other hand to do the things. Or a very interesting one that I liked is just a simple one where you just do this and you excuse your palm by cutting the deck. By giving it a cut, you excuse the movements and the actions. So that's the part that will require kind of the most practice is in the justifications and getting, comfortable with having a card palm and doing the moves that are, made to justify you switching or picking up the deck or doing anything with the deck, okay? So now that we've talked about that, practicality-wise, these are palms. So palm-wise, you just need a deck of cards and an object to palm. That's pretty much it. Except for that, your angles are, as with pretty much any other palm, it depends how you place your hand. If you just keep your hand like this, it's going to be kind of 270. If you keep your hand kind of closer to your body, kind of like this, or if you conceal it by, just holding your hand like this on the table or by staying like this on the table, could be almost 360. So it depends on that. And in terms of reset and any other things like that, it doesn't really make sense for me to talk about it. So I won't bother you with that because, well, a palm doesn't have a reset, or a table, you can do these on a table or not on a table, it does not matter. Regarding where you perform this material, you can perform it anywhere as long as you perform with a deck of cards and you need to do a routine that requires a palm. Bingo, you have what you need in order to achieve your effect, okay? So now that we've discussed all of this, let's get into the positives and negatives of the book. First of all, let's get into the negatives because everything has a negative in my opinion. And one of the negatives of the book is I do wish it would have had at least some ideas. I do understand that he says how to do a box load and then he tells you, oh, then after you palm the card, go to your pocket. I just wish there would have been maybe just one routine per section. So with a top palm, what is the funnest routine you could do? A card to pocket and just put that. With a bottom palm, what's the best routine that you could do? It's, a card somewhere or just maybe one routine per section. But again, that's nitpicking. I know he says that he's not a magician per se and he doesn't really identify as a magician and that's not his calling. It's mostly he's just fascinated by the art of palming cards and that's fully understandable. But I do think it could have been cool to maybe have 2 or 3 effects there, just to spicing it up or something like, if you palm the bottom card of a deck, you can load it into another deck. Just like 1 or 2 pages of an effect per section, I think would have been beneficial, but that's just it. Regarding now the positives, one, it's a beautiful book. It's basically everything that you would need regarding palming cards moving forward. It's kind of the summary, kind of like the mini Bible regarding palming cards. It's a really good read. The writing, the pictures, everything is fantastic. The instructions are also very good. He does take it very step by step. He tells you exactly, how to hold if you're doing the one with the break, when to put your hand over, how to justify doing the movement, how to make it, fluid, etc. So the book is very well produced, it's very well made, and the information and everything is really well presented to you as a reader. So that's all I have to say regarding Concerning the Palming of Cards by John Galsworthy. I think it's a good book. If you're interested in palming or you want to refine your palming, look no further than this. If you have zero interest in palming, for example, you're a coin magician or you're a mentalist or you're a juggler, of course this book will not be for you because it has nothing that is going to interest you. But if you're in the realm of cards and you're interested in perfecting your palms, making your palms better, or even learning a new palm, or just start palming from the ground up, this is a fantastic book to add to your collection. So I recommend it in those cases. I'm giving Concerning the Palming of Cards an 8.5 on 10. I think it's a fantastic book. I think it's good, and I think you'll get some mileage out of it, especially, you know, even me, I have a palm that I really, really like. I do a palm that, you know, Ben Earl teaches. That's my favorite palm of all time. But I do really like some of the additions, like the palm that some additions that he gives. I think they're very fun, and just some revisions of some palms, like the one-handed top palm. I really like kind of his work on it as well. So I still, even though I really have a palm that I like, that fits me and that's perfect for me, I still got some mileage out of this book, which is why I am giving it a higher grade. So if you have any additional questions, leave them down below. If not, I'll see you all in my next review. Have a good one, and bye bye.